Hey everybody, I am here. We are going to get started. We have so many great things to talk about. So can you be healthy and heal your health symptoms without having a restrictive diet? I can't wait to answer this question for you today. So many people ask me about dietary advice and all these different things, and I'm just making sure we are on live. We are online and working here. So many people ask me questions about diet, asking for dietary advice and all those things, and I just want to set the record straight. So can you be healthy without having a super restrictive diet? Simple answer is yes. Now I'm going to take 5 minutes of your time and tell you how to do that. So there's two key things that you can do to be healthy and heal symptoms and not feel anxiety and all these things without having this crazy restrictive diet. The first thing is change your mindset. So are you the kind of person who reads diet books for fun and is maybe on a health journey and has learned everything you can possibly learn about being vegan or keto or paleo or Whole30 or raw or macro or grain-free, and you feel just as confused and more anxious than you've ever felt? High five, like if that is you, because that was me for a really long time. And I started with anxiety symptoms and then was trying to heal myself. Again, out of the goodness of my heart, I'm learning these things because I want to make my life better. But I started to feel more and more stressed, more and more confused, and more anxious. And because of all that, more and more sick. And even though I could tell you any nutrition fact that you needed to know or anything, I knew so much, but my life was crumbling underneath of me. And I was so confused because you can go out there and read all this research about how a vegan diet is the best thing you could ever do. And then you can go out and read all this research about how it's the worst thing you can do and that you need meat and you need fat and you need all this stuff. And it's so confusing and it's making people sick. And it's so frustrating. Yes, the stress is definitely keeping me sick. For sure. Yes. Stress is the thing that's keeping you stuck in that place. I have a lot of blog posts on my website that are, why joy is more important than food, how to stop your restrictive diet, how to not stress about food. I have lots of the emotional aspect of that, but I just want to say one thing about how to be healthy without a restrictive diet is, number one, is mindset. So when I was on my healing journey, I spent several years in that place of being stressed out, being confused, being anxious, not knowing what to do, trying everything, nothing's working. And then I got into the emotion code and I started doing sessions with my practitioner, and I felt so much better. Like, once I started healing the stress and healing the emotional traumas, it was like everything started to go away so fast. And so I was about 75% of the way back, meaning I felt 75% better than I had ever. But there was still this little sliver that I still felt stuck, and I still had all this dietary confusion. And anytime anything would pop up, like a headache or anxiety or anything, I would go and start blaming food. And I would, think, oh my gosh, what did I eat? Did I get gluten at this restaurant, or is it a little bit of sugar in my ketchup? Like, if you know what I'm talking about, give me a like, because, yeah. Anyways, so I would just stress and stress and stress. And so I was feeling better, but I was still stressing out about my diet. And I remember it was this beautiful day here in Virginia. We live on a few acres and it's just trees and it's green and it's beautiful. And it was this spring day. My husband's working in the garden. My kids were running around playing. And I was sitting on the deck reading a diet book. I wasn't playing with my kids. I wasn't in the garden. I wasn't moving. I wasn't enjoying my life. I was sitting and reading a diet book. And I used to do this stuff like for fun. I thought it was fun. It wasn't actually fun. But I used to do this, and so I was sitting there and everybody's playing and laughing, and then and I'm reading this book trying to figure out what's the last answer. What is the magic pill that I haven't found? Like maybe there's something in these pages that I haven't read, or something's going to jump out at me, or maybe I need to cut out corn, or maybe I need to cut out soy, or, you know, just all in my head. Not living my life, not having fun with my kids, not participating in my life, just sitting and stewing. And I was sitting there and I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? You know, like, what is the thing? What is it? Is it a corn intolerance? You know, what's the thing, the answer? And all of a sudden I realized, I had this like light bulb moment where I realized it's not the food. The thing that's wrong with me is that I believe that there's something wrong with me. And I believe, and you know, if I believe that something's wrong with me, then something is always going to be wrong with me. And I'm going to spend the rest of my life searching for an answer. I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to fix myself. I'm going to spend the rest of my life sitting on the sidelines, sitting on the deck, reading a diet book instead of playing with my kids in this beautiful weather, instead of going to a restaurant and enjoying myself with friends, instead of getting out of my comfort zone and living my life. And so I decided that day that I was going to start eating and breathing and thinking and living like somebody who has nothing wrong with them. And somebody who has nothing wrong with them and believes that there's nothing wrong with them doesn't sit around and read a diet book on a beautiful Saturday. Somebody who knows there's nothing wrong with them doesn't stay at home and, you know, cook some vegan or paleo meal, you know, cursing everything, and while they're, you know, their kids are eating good food and you're sitting there like stressing and, oh, I can't have this and da 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 da. It's so stressful, it's so heavy, and it causes so much anxiety. So within 3 months, okay guys, listen up, within 3 months of that day, sitting on my deck and deciding there was nothing wrong with me and I was going to live that way and take action and live in a way that there was nothing wrong with me. From that day, it was only 3 months before the autoimmune disease diagnosis left. So it took 3 months for my body to clue into what I was telling it. And I started to change, you know, again, change your mind, then you start to change your biochemistry, all those feelings change, everything in your body changes. You move out of fight or flight, you move into thrive. And then 3 months later, my blood work was totally clear. So this is the importance of mindset when it comes to not having to have a restrictive diet. So can you be healthy without a restrictive diet? Totally, yes, 100%. That's number one. Number two, this is the second thing that you have to do to be healthy and to heal your symptoms without having a restrictive diet. So mindset is number one. Number two, restore. Okay, I've talked about the restore supplement on my blog before. I've talked about it on videos before, but I want to tell you a little bit more about it today. So this is something that I started taking years ago. I've been taking this every day for years, and it's a gut healing supplement. I'm not going to go into the science behind it and try to give you all of that. You are welcome to explore the website and figure out more about what it is and how it does all of it, all that it does. But Restore is a supplement that heals the gut lining. And so years ago, I was pregnant and I was not tolerating any food. I was eating, I'm not kidding, a diet of amaranth for breakfast, salad for lunch, and salmon for dinner. And that is all I could eat. That's all I could tolerate. I was losing weight so quickly, which is not good. It was not good. I was pregnant and I was so thin, like unhealthily thin, wrecked my metabolism. I felt horrible. I couldn't get off the couch. The fatigue was so intense. I remember laying on the couch and my little kids are playing in front of me and I'm pregnant and just thinking my life is literally passing me by. Like, I can't get into my life. It was horrible. I couldn't tolerate any food. And so I started taking Restore. And it was not an overnight thing. I'm not going to say that I went from being able to, to eat nothing from, amaranth to eating gluten and dairy and sugar, which I do now. I can't say that happened overnight, okay? But over time, that little bit of restore every day to heal the gut, heal the gut, heal the gut. I'm now to a place where I can eat gluten, and I do, and I eat dairy, and I eat sugar, and I eat corn, and I eat soy, and I eat whatever I want. I'm to a point where I'm able to eat intuitively. I'm not eating McDonald's. I'm not doing stuff like that. I don't eat a ton of gluten. I don't eat a ton of dairy. I don't eat a ton of sugar. But you know what? If I'm going to a restaurant, I'm going to pick out whatever I want from the menu and I'm going to eat that. Or if my kids, are having dessert and I want to have some too, I'll have some with them. Or if we're having soup and I want to have toast with it, I will have bread, like good bread, like gluten bread. So I don't eat a ton of it. I make most of my meals at home. We eat mostly organic. So I'm not saying I'm going to go out and, just eat junk food all the time and feel like $1 million, because you just can't. That's junk in, junk out. If you eat junk all the time, you're going to feel like junk. But if I want to eat gluten or I want to eat dairy or I want to eat sugar, I can have a little bit and I'm totally fine. Blood work is completely clear. I feel great. I don't have a lot of fatigue, a normal amount for somebody who has 3 kids and running a business, but nothing that's stopping me from living my life. So Restore is this amazing supplement. I just put like a half a capful in my water every day. And so I just take little sips of it throughout the day. Or if I know like we're about to go out to a restaurant and there aren't a lot of great options, I'll just drink a capful straight. And so I know that's in there. It's working for about a half an hour and then I eat. Totally fine. Same with my kids. My kids, knock on wood, do not get sick very often at all. They used to be sick every week and we missed tons of school and it was horrible. They don't get sick anymore. So I put a half a capful in their water bottles that they take to school with them every day. So every time they take a little sip, they're getting this little bit of immune boosting, gut healing supplement. And that keeps them from getting sick. It allows them to eat whatever they need to eat that day. So these are the 2 things. Can you be healthy without restricting your diet? Yes, 100% totally. 2 things, mindset. So your joy and your stress is more important. Not having stress, having joy is so much more important than the food that you're eating. And when you can get to a place where you drop the guilt and drop the stress and drop the confusion about all this dietary advice that just makes us kind of hate ourselves because we don't know what to do. Once you can drop all of that and change your mindset, totally amazing things happen. So first and foremost, put your joy first. Like going back to my story, get off, put the diet book down, get off of the couch and go live your life again. Go participate in your life. Go create joy. Go create happiness in your life and whatever that means today, and stop worrying so much about food. And 2, take your Restore. So totally possible to heal your symptoms, to be healthy, to not have anxiety. I'm somebody who went from having Hashimoto's and 3 months later, diagnosis completely gone from mindset and Restore. So I'm going to post a link to some of my blog posts that talk more about how to heal this relationship with food, how to heal food anxiety, how to drop that restrictive diet, and also a link to Restore. So the best place to get it is right on the website. They have a subscribe and save thing where it's a lot cheaper. And so I'm not getting, I love Restore. It's just something that I've always taken. I've always told my clients to take, and I've seen really amazing things happen. So if you have any questions, let me know. I will keep this up. Please share it if you know somebody who's stressing about food and diet and really is totally confused and wants some clarity on how to move forward and how to heal without having to go vegan or keto or paleo or whatever. So, because I know how horrible it is. Okay. Love you guys so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.